998, 999, 1000. Oh, I didn't see you there. Well, I guess since you're here, we might as well cook something. Weights are expensive because of the pandemic, so you make do. Picture, if you will, you're sitting on your couch at home, feeling a little hungry. You want some Chick Fil A. You hop in your car, you start driving, you see there's no line. It's your lucky day. You're about to have some Chick Fil A without a line. Did you win the lottery? Wrong. It's Sunday, you can't have any Chick Fil A. But now, thanks to my gluten-free wizardry, that kind of rhymed, you can have Chick Fil A whenever you want. Probably just gonna be on Sundays, unless you're like me and can't have gluten, and this is your only option. So you're welcome, but also I'm sorry. So this recipe that I'm gonna show you in a bit, to me, because I've made it before, was a little bit salty, so I'm actually gonna reduce a little bit of the salt content in there. The other thing that I wanna kind of warn you beforehand is it is technically a 2-day recipe, so there's a brining step, which requires an overnight period. It's not a huge issue, it's pretty much just you need to cut the chicken and put it in a bag with salt and sugar and water the day before, so just have a little bit of foresight. But like tomorrow I want fake Chick Fil A, so I'm gonna have to do about 10 minutes of work today for me to have it tomorrow. But some positive news, they have my bread back at Costco. I don't know what happened. I asked a woman at the front of the store, and she's like, it's not in our system anymore. So I looked online, it wasn't listed on Costco's website. I looked at the SCAR website, Costco wasn't listed as distributing it anymore. And then like a week later, it's back. I don't know, but I'm happy. Also, beyond being ecstatic by finding gluten-free bread at Costco, I've been on a pizza journey. I typically make Bob's Red Mill pizza dough. Like it's a mix, and you just have to add a few other ingredients like eggs and oil to, and then you get the dough and you make the pizza from there. And I was kind of determined, I'm like, well, I want to try and make it from scratch. And so I've tried a handful of recipes, and none of them have quite, like one of them I would say is a little bit better than the Bob's Red Mill, but it takes like 3 hours to make. So that kind of knocked it down. So it's like, so far the Bob's Red Mill is still the top, but I have like that one that's kind of a competitor. At some point I'll probably show you guys the winner. I want to test a few more. But in this pizza journey, I had a friend recommend me a pizza, which I will describe for you. And it's pizza crust, marinara, then mozzarella. Then you want to put curry powder and crushed up peanuts, and then chicken, and then banana. Now I want to know, and honestly, it was pretty good. The banana I wasn't a huge fan of. Like it, for me, once it was like baked and stuff, like it didn't feel like it had much of a flavor to it. Like even like when I took like a big bite out of banana within it, it didn't really seem like it did anything for me. So in the future, I'd probably just remove that aspect of it. But overall, it was a good pizza. So I want to know, what's the weirdest combo of pizza toppings that work, that you've tried? Like not just the craziest ones that you can think of. I want to know crazy ones that you're actually like, this is good. Or like, I'll have again. So it doesn't have to be like great, but just like, if somebody made that and gave it to me, I'd eat it again. I might try these because I'm gonna be making a lot of pizza, probably. Because each one of these recipes that I make usually is about 3 pizzas. So I wanna, have some variety in my life. So if you guys have some solid recommendations, let me know. And also let me know, have you ever tried that pizza that I just described? And if not, maybe you should. Give it a go. Make yourself some pizza, or cheat and buy some pizza dough at the store. Or if you can't have gluten, Bob's Red Mill. You have pizza in like 20 minutes. It's a little bit more than that. Like that's, to me, like great brand if you don't want to do all the steps of making anything from scratch. All right, enough of the shenanigans. Let's get to cooking because I want some Chick Fil A. Let's run through those ingredients. Flour, milk powder, salt, sugar, baking powder, paprika, black pepper, cayenne pepper, milk, eggs, chicken, and a whole lot of oil. Game plan. So like I kind of stated before, it's a 2-day process. On the first day, we're going to cut the chicken and make the brine, and then we're going to put the brine and the chicken into a Ziploc bag and store that overnight for it to do its briny goodness. And then on the second day, first up, we're going to prep the stages that we are going to need for when we actually make the nuggets. So the first one is the spice mix. Then the next one is going to be milk and eggs, and then a flour mix. After we have all of that, we're going to heat the oil to 350, and I'd recommend putting the thermometer in at the beginning, because if you drop a thermometer into hot oil, it could explode. I don't know if thermometers are maybe made better now, but that happened as a kid when we were making something, and it's burnt into my brain of don't put a thermometer into hot oil. Then while the oil is heating is when we're gonna actually make the nuggets, so put them through those stages that we prepared, and then hopefully the oil is heated by that point. Put the nuggets into the deep fryer. It should take about 2 minutes, and then take them out. I'm gonna be using my birthday spider, and put them on a wire rack to drain for a little bit, and then you're ready to enjoy. I would also recommend, I'm pretty sure I have some potatoes in my pantry, making some homemade fries in the oil that you already have heated and sitting there, because why waste good hot oil when you can also have French fries? The first step is going to be to cut the chicken, and I'm just going to be doing that on kind of my special chicken cutting board, just to eliminate any chance of raw chicken cross-contamination into other things that I cook and cut on my my cutting boards and whatnot. The next step is going to be to make the brine that we're going to then later on put the chicken in. The brine, typically if you think of brine, you think of just like salt and water, and then maybe like spices and stuff, which in this case it's salt, water, and sugar, which I guess the sugar is just more there for the like flavoring aspect, because most of the work of the brining process is being done by the water and the salt itself. The water kind of, you know, slowly, because we're letting the chicken sit in it for a long period of time, so it will absorb some of that water. So that'll help in the cooking process. It won't lose as much moisture, so that it remains like more juicy. And then the salt actually helps break down the protein itself, thus giving you more tender chicken. And then the other kind of science-y thing, which this is more important than the other two, because the other two are just gonna happen, you don't really need to understand them. But for this step, you want to put it in cold water. You need to make sure it's cold, because if you put it in warm water, chicken and warm when you're not cooking is not a good combo. It'll put the chicken potentially, depending on how warm it is, into, like, you know, the danger zone where bacteria will grow. So make sure it's cold. I don't want anybody getting sick. The next step is to combine the chicken and the brine that we have just prepared into a Ziploc bag, and then we're gonna put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then I'll see you tomorrow to do some deep frying. Hello, welcome to day 2. And first up, we're going to make the spice mix, and so that's the cayenne, paprika, and black pepper, and we're just going to put those into a small bowl that we will need later. Now that we have the spice mix ready, next is to mix together the milk and the eggs. Next is to make the flour mix, which is the flour, the milk powder, the salt, sugar, a little bit of the spice mix, and then a drizzle, just a little bit, of the egg and milk mix. I think that's all that goes in there. There's a lot of things going into this one. Make sure you read the recipe, because I'm going to definitely reread it because of the fiasco from last week. I don't want to be forgetting something. Now we want to heat the oil in the Dutch oven to 350. And then, like I stated in the game plan, put the thermometer in at the beginning so that it doesn't explode on you. Pro tips. Now that we have everything prepared, we can actually start making the nuggets. So we're gonna take the nuggets out of the brine, pat them dry, cover them in the spice mix. Then we're going to put them into the egg and milk mix and then into the flour mix. And now you have Chick Fil A nuggets just waiting to be fried. Once we've prepped, technically you don't need to do all the nuggets at once. For filming purposes, everything's, in segments. The ideal way that you want to do this is to prepare a batch of nuggets, put them into the fryer, and then while they're frying, prepare the next round, and then kind of do that back and forth. I'm going to do that, but you're going to see kind of sequentially. So there's going to be a step of like, I'm going to make a handful to show you, and then I'm going to show you me frying them, but then I'm going to kind of go back and forth to get all the rest done. So that's just more of like a time management, because why waste the time of making all of them when you could be cooking while you're making. But yeah, time to fry the nuggets. Now that we've fried the nuggets to perfection, put them on a wire rack to let them drain, and just make the rest. So we have deep fried all of it and it looks delicious. I also have some fries that I made. Granted, they're not waffle fries, so it's not the exact Chick Fil A experience, but to make up for that, I have Chick Fil A sauce. They sell it in the store now, at least in the grocery store near me. They sell Chick Fil A sauce, which is what I got, and like the Polynesian and like the barbecue. So you can legit have Chick Fil A at home. Now I know I've been giving a lot of 5 out of 5s the last few weeks, and this one is, I would say, pretty close, but I'll probably give it a 4, which you probably saw coming. But I don't know, maybe it's like the F or something. Something for me, it's not quite like a 5. Like I enjoy making this and eating it, but it's not one of those meals that I'm like seeking out to make, if that makes any sense. This is definitely more of like a feeling, like level of effort and the return on it. I know it reheats well. Little tip is you microwave it to get the insides warm, and then you put it on like a pan to kind of re-crisp the outside, and I've had good results with that. And I mean, all that, I don't know what it is, but maybe you try the recipe, let me know. Do you think it should be a 5 out of 5, or do you agree with the 4 out of 5? And on that note, bye Mom, still not dead. See ya. Welcome to day 2. First step is going to be the spice mix, and that's going to be the cayenne. Wait, is there cayenne in there? No. Oh, crap. Well, hold on.